What's up, guys? Let's give you a look at what we got going tonight. Okay, so I know you guys have seen how I do handrail before, but I'm just going to show you the basics of what you need so that you can lay it out like this on your table. And we got him right up against the wall because I haven't made a cord yet. So we are running it on 240. Alright, a little bit of news for you guys. I did manage to snag the biggest job that I've had since I've been in business. That's a pretty big deal for me. Pretty excited about it. The type of work it is not my favorite, and I did try to say no to the job twice, but the contractor that was trying to get me to do it kind of wouldn't take no for an answer. So, making some modifications. I'll tell you a little bit more about that. What it is it's a whole slew of handrail, which if you guys watch the channel, you know that's not my favorite, but sometimes when the job pays well, you can't say no. So the other thing is it is commercial. It's not residential, and that was part of the reason that I did end up saying yes. I'll show you guys what we got here. So I've taken all the sections of handrail. I've broken them down into numbers, section 5, section 6. So this job is in Park City. I had to drive up there, take measurements. I actually made 2 trips up there to get all the measurements I needed. So the total number of sections is 12. And I am currently working on section number 12. I decided that I wanted to do the stair sections first. So you can see that there are 5 sections right there. So we got those all built. Those are actually all different lengths, just barely. We are just about done with the stair sections, which are the worst ones, to be quite honest. So we do have all the straight sections to do still. The way this story goes, I have a friend who referred me to his brother, who is a contractor. I went and looked at the job. I looked at the prints. I hated the design. It was a nightmare. It was just some wild design of handrail that the owner saw that he wanted to try. So I was polite, but I told him, sorry, I'm not interested. I appreciate you thinking of me, but I can't do it. So after that happened, I told him no. He called me back. He said, what if my brother helps you? And I said, well, that would help, but that's not the only reason I'm saying no. He called me back again, and he said, what if you change the design? So I said, I don't want to change the design and then the customer not get what they want. And he said, well, it was just an option. He said, send me some pictures of some stuff you've done before. So I did. This was one of the designs that I sent him. He liked it. So he got back to me and he said, send me a quote. I sent him the quote and he said, when can you start? So now here we are. We're about halfway through building these sections, and we're getting ready to finish the last stair section, and then we've got a bunch of straight sections that we're going to start. And I'll just introduce you guys. This is my helper right here. This is Casey Trujillo, and he's the guy, if you guys don't remember, he's the guy that was helping me with the 6G test. But Casey's a good dude. He's a good welder, and he's the reason that I got this job. So you'll see him helping me do this job throughout the whole project. So get familiar with Casey, because you'll be seeing his face a lot. Okay, so I know you guys have seen how I do handrail before, but I'm just going to show you the basics of what you need so that you can lay it out like this on your table. As long as you've got the angle, which I used a digital angle finder to find that. I've got my measurement from outside to outside, and I actually drew this wrong, but the post, actually the outside is right there. As long as you've got that measurement, you know what code is, which we're going 42 inches high on this guardrail. And so I lay my angles out, I lay the height out, split it for my center post. I'm 4 inches off the bottom, off the stringer that it welds to. So you can see we've got our lines laid out, and we're just matching the pieces up. We lay them right on top of our marks so that we know that they're exactly right. So we'll go into time-lapse mode now, and we'll go ahead and fit this one up. Alright guys, I'm going to give you an update real quick. We are working on one of the last hand grab pieces here. Our stair sections are all fit up. Here are the two stair sections at the bottom of the stairs. They have to have a 12-inch stick out on them. Now everything just needs to be welded out. You can see Casey's over here getting after this stair section. We are running the Arccaptain, and we got him right up against the wall because I haven't made a cord yet. So we are running it on 240, but it seems to be running good. So there's really not a whole lot to see right now. I just wanted to give you guys an update where we're at. Once these are welded out, we do have to take a load up to Park City. We'll start getting them fit up and installed, and then we've got 2 or 3 other sections that we got to get some more measurements on. Come back to the shop, build them, haul them back up there. So we'll be making a couple trips up there to get this one done, but should be fairly good. I think it's going to go fairly smooth. Alright guys, want to give you guys an update where we're at. We're in the process of welding these out. So we got all the sections put together that we can. You can see they're all tacked up. Everything's fit up. All the stair sections are fit up. So these are the handrail sections that mount to the guardrail. And just for reference, the proper verbiage is guardrail, handrail. So the handrail is going to get mounted to the guardrail. These are capped and they're ready to go. So we do have to fabricate the little L brackets to mount those to these. These ones are all cleaned up and ready to go. We've got 3 stair sections here, and then our 2 just grab rail sections here. You can see Casey's in the process of welding these out. And he is running the Arccaptain. One of the things that we've been doing is running these downhill. Sometimes it's easier with short arc to run this kind of stuff downhill. Something like this that has a pretty good gap. If you tried running that flat, there's no way you're going to run that continuous. It's going to blow out on you. So if you tip it up like this and then you run a whip downhill, you're able to get a solid bead on there that you can clean up. So that's kind of where we're at. We did make plans. Today's Wednesday. We're going to go up on Friday. We're hoping, if we get everything ready. We're going to go up on Friday and we're going to start installing. There's still 2 sections that we don't have built. One of them is another section like this one, so it's just straight, so it'll be a quick one. And then we've got another section like that one that we need to check. Because of the way it ties in with the incline section, it's going to be a little tricky. We'll show you guys when we get up there, but that's kind of where we're at. We're just giving you guys updates because I don't know that anybody really wants to sit and watch us polish handrail. Just a little fun fact for you guys. It takes us about 2 hours to weld a section out and polish it up. And that's just weld it out and polish it up. That doesn't include what it took to fit them and cut all the pieces. So just to weld them out and polish them up, it's 2 hours. So I mean, you're probably looking, if I was to guess, I'd say you're probably looking 4 hours per section to completely fabricate, and that doesn't include install. So it's a very time-consuming process. We're being extremely picky because it's going in an industrial office building. We want to make sure that he's happy with the way it looks. So that's where we're at. We'll give you guys another update when we get up there, so we'll catch up with you then. Alright guys, we're up in Park City on the job site. We'll go inside and give you guys a look at what the building looks like. As you can see, Casey's already started to clean up the stair tread where it used to be mounted. So he's getting those all cleaned up and ready to go, and we're just going to go to town, start mounting up the railing. We did forget earplugs, so we'll be deaf by the time this is over. But other than that, everything's going smooth, so let's do it. Okay guys, give you guys an update. We got just about all of the stair sections in. Now we're putting our handrail in. We burned those little L brackets on the burn table at a 1/2 inch plate, so they're 1/2 inch square. You see we got those anchored on all the posts. So the first one's done. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 more to go. So we'll get those 4 done, and then we got some more measurements to pull on some sections that we're gonna build back at the shop. And then that's about all we can do for now. We'll try to get some more video of us fitting these up, just so you guys can see how we're doing it. And we'll give you guys an update before we leave. Alright guys, I realize it's pretty dark so you probably can't see, but I want to show you what we got done today. All the incline sections but one. We got our handrail mounted to the guardrail. We do have a few straight sections that we still have to do. This here is temporary, so we'll pull that out, and we've got a straight section that mounts to this. So we're going to go back to the shop. We're going to build this one, we're going to build that one. There's one more upstairs. They've got to finish this wall before we can put the handrail on this side. We got to fabricate this section still, and then we have to fabricate our transitions that connect the two incline sections together. So this is basically chapter 1 of the handrail. We're going to go back to the shop and we'll fabricate the rest of these. It is 7 o'clock, so we're going to go home and try to relax a little bit. That's going to wrap today up, and we'll get back to you guys once we get this next chapter ready to bring back up here and install. So we'll catch up with you guys then. Alright guys, we're back after it today. Casey's going to take a zip disc and he's going to start by cutting this temporary off, and then we're going to get that section right up there, tack weld it onto this section and get it anchored into concrete. So we'll do that now. Alright, so we're on the second level. We're going to go ahead and get this put in. It's pretty much the same process on all 3 levels. So we'll just go into time lapse, see if we can't knock them out. Alright guys, so we're working at the top of the stairs, trying to get this last section in. We've got it anchored to the floor. We're going to cut our temporary brace off, and then we're going to start fitting all these. We'll be using our Evolution saw to do that, to cut those parts. The sections in between the top and bottom floor are kind of dark, so I didn't get much video of those, but you can see we got that section in there. We're making some progress. We're going to see if we can't get this section put in and fit up, and we'll give you guys a look once we get to that point. What's going on, guys? We're back on the job site today. We ended up not being able to finish up yesterday because we've had daylight savings recently here in Utah, so it gets dark about 5 o'clock. And being right here in this stairwell, it gets pitch black. So we ended up calling it a day, decided to come back today. We should finish today. We will finish today. And we got something we want to show you here. So we got 2 grab rails we're gonna put in. That's all that's left to do, and then some cleanup. But we got one bracket mounted here. One of the reasons we were running into issues yesterday is because there's metal studs in these walls. I haven't mounted a whole lot of stuff to metal studs, so I wasn't really sure what to do. We started with self-tappers. That didn't work. They just strip right out because the metal studs are so thin. There's a metal stud right there, and you can see how thin those are. So they strip right out with a self-tapper. So we tried lag bolts, they stripped out also. So we ended up going to Home Depot and getting these. They're called pull toggles, and these ones are 1/4 inch. They're rated for 155 pounds in drywall, but I don't think that's taking into account that they're through a metal stud as well. So I'm sure it's more than that. So Casey's going to install this next one, and I'll just show you guys what the process is like. All right, guys, Casey's going to drill these holes. There's a little more light down here. So we found our studs. So he's drilling through a metal stud now. Okay, so here's what they look like. It's a little, it kind of looks like a zip tie, but there's a threaded metal piece on the end. So there's your threaded hole right there by my index finger. And you bend it like this, you stick it through the hole, and then it will, you pull back and it hooks in like that. And then Casey will show you how it works once you get it in there. Okay, so it hooks. Now he's gonna push that white, that little white bracket thing. He's gonna push it in the hole. So that does 2 things. That locks it in place. It also centers, there's a hole right there, and it centers the hole with the threaded piece in the back. Okay, and then you take and you break the zip tie piece off. Just flex it back and forth and it'll snap off. Then you're left with 2 holes right there that are threaded. We've had to swap the hardware so that we could get the screw in deep enough to where it would grab the little threaded bracket. And now it works like a champ. We were struggling there for a minute because we were trying to figure out why it wasn't grabbing, but we just needed hardware that was long enough. Feel like it grabbed?
Yep.
Just like that. So with that much meat behind it, I mean, that is solid. Even if somebody was to hang on the handrail, I don't think that's going anywhere. So pretty cool hardware. We just wanted to give you guys a look. If you do run into a situation where you got to mount handrail into a wall with studs, if they've got metal studs, that's one option. So just wanted to show you guys that. So now we'll go into time-lapse mode. We'll get this last grab rail put up, and then we got some cleanup to do. And once we get all that done, we'll go ahead and give you guys a look. Alright guys, we'll give you one last look at the finished product. So this is starting at the bottom. Something to keep in mind, depending on what state you live in, the code is different. So you want to check your local code. I think it changes from state to state. So we got our grab rails on. They still got some wall to fix, but so every one of these transitions had to be built on site here. Well, we built the corner at the shop, but then we had to fit everything else here. This transition right here, we built this section at the shop, we built this section at the shop, but we had to make this transition here. And I'll tell you what, that evolution saw made that a breeze. That's pretty much the handrail. So that's it. Big thanks to Casey for helping us finish this one. We couldn't have done it without him. And we're gonna go find something to eat and get home. Thanks you guys for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you on the next one.